Number 6 is interesting. Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War arc.
Yeah, so I'm probably the only one that's watched this.
I've seen the first 4 episodes.
Does
of it.
my anime list always do this? Does it always write it in the Japanese way? But in the
yeah.
English Japanese way.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Why would they not just call it 1,000 Blood Arc on the English
Because
version?
that's what it's actually called, Connor.
It's just dumb, though.
We're talking about the website that won't allow Scott Pilgrim to be listed as an anime, even though it was made in Japan.
It's like, I don't know. To me, I've gone around now, but it just seems so fucking dumb. Just why just put it Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
If they gave this name for it in English officially, why are we not using
Just call it
this?
1,000 Year Blood War.
Does anyone really need it to be? It's like on Twitter when people go like Boku no Hero Academia. It's like just call it My Hero Academia. It's literally in the title.
Yeah.
Its title is My Hero Academia.
Yeah, and I love how they get like nitpicky with it as well. Like they'll say that about certain shows, and then they'll be like, "I'm not calling Full Metal Alchemist Hagane no Renkin Jutsu. Like I'm calling it Full Metal."
Yeah.
It is very frustrating. There's this double standard where they're like, I want to seem like I'm really in touch with it, and it's like, shut the fuck up. It's called. They gave it Bleach 1,000 year fucking bullshit. Let's call it that.
Okay, so I've seen the first 4 episodes, so I can't speak on how good the entire show is. I mean, you have, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it. It just goes hard. I mean, I say this as
pretty
not
much.
even a fan of Bleach. The action scenes go
I've seen clips.
super fucking hard. This is like
goes hard as
movie
fuck.
level. Like this is like movie level animation in 13 episodes.
Oh yeah, we're hanging out with our friend. He was like, "You have to watch this." I was like, "I'm not gonna watch it." And then he pulls out his phone and starts showing me. I'm like, "Yeah, that looks fucking cool." But
Yeah,
but like, can you watch this without watching the rest? Okay,
No,
what
no,
the
that's the problem when and I think that's
The
why.
last arc, right?
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
last arc, and that's
So-
why I think this score is so high up because
Only
this
Bleach
show,
fans.
yeah,
Only
Yeah.
Bleach fans.
only Bleach fans would have gotten this far into the story because this is like the last arc after about hundreds of episodes in. The animation out of nowhere just leveled up to a point where it's some of the best action animation you could ask
Is it
for.
also true that they slightly changed some parts of the story in the anime version?
I heard that Kubo has been more involved. This is all speculation, so
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but that
Yeah.
might be. But I don't really, like I said, I don't really have much to say about it aside from if you're a Bleach fan, this is going to be orgasmic. And I do understand why this
Bleach
has...
fans said, "I want to see some
Yeah,
Bankais,
yeah.
god damn it," and
Yeah.
they got
But
it.
number 6.
But
Come
it is not number
on.
6.
It's not number
It's
6.
not number 6.
Is it even top 50? Bleach as a series?
No.
That's such a decisive no. I let Gant say the crazy shit, so then I'm like, yeah, well, he said.
I liked a lot of Bleach. I disliked a lot of Bleach. What would you give Bleach overall?
It's okay. Here's the hard thing about rating.
Never seen Bleach, by the way.
Yeah. Here's the hard thing about rating any Shonen Jump show, right? Which is I don't think it's fair to rate Shonen Jump shows based on an entire, let's say, the entire run, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's more easier to rate Shonen Jump shows on arcs.
Yeah, I can
right?
rate the arcs
because
sure.
arcs are so vastly different, and the thing that makes it hard to review a Shonen Jump show in its entirety is because of the way Shonen Jump is structured, right? Ideas and focuses can often shift where shows can feel completely different, and unlike something like Attack on Titan where it seemed like completely planned, sometimes it can feel like it just keeps going on and it keeps escalating for the sole reason of it being Shonen Jump. Like my best example of this is Naruto, right? Where you look at the power scaling and you look at the fights at the beginning of the series and you compare it to the end of the series, and they almost feel like two completely different fucking series, right? Whereas you look at something like Attack on Titan, where not even Shonen Jump, but I'm just using that as an example, where Titans got less threatening, but it didn't feel like it was because it got power scaled. It felt like because the more we learnt about Titans, the more humans learned how to combat them. So they were still a threat by the end of the series, but they felt like less of a threat compared to the beginning series. And that felt like a more natural progression.
But would you say Bleach is in that same vein? Because when I compare, say, the Soul Society arc, right, the first arc, to the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, I don't really see that big of a jump in that sense of like it feeling like two completely different shows. Right? Like there's obviously a lot happened in between that time, and there were a lot of great arcs, a lot of shit arcs, but I think overall, the 1,000 Year Blood War arc still felt like Bleach, if that makes sense. You
Okay,
know?
so I got to ask you guys, when you read a long-running shonen or a long running show, do you sometimes get this point where you kind of like mentally check out?
Yeah.
But you keep like everyone has this, like a lot of people have this point when they kind of like, they keep reading, but they kind of like mentally check out.
Yeah, you're like, I'm reading this out of obligation.
Yeah.
I was honestly kind of like that when I was reading One Punch Man manga. I just kind of checked out after a while, but then I got super hype again. I was like, I'm back in.
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Yeah, I kind of like checked out a little bit, but then I was like, all right, I think I'm back.
Yeah. To me, like I kind of like checked out Bleach midway through the what was the arc that went on for fucking ages?
Huecamundo? No, not Huecamundo.
I think it was like at the end of Huecamundo, where I was like, I am happy with, I'm happy with everything that I've read. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm gonna keep reading until they defeat Aizen, and then the series is gonna be over. And then they defeated Aizen, and I'm like, it's still going.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check it out for one more arc. All right, it still keeps going. And
I kind of checked out halfway through the Espada arc as well.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, come on, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Let's just
where I was just like, okay, I thought it was going to be over. I thought it and they just like kept going and kept going. And then this was the last arc where I kind of like they pulled me back in a little bit just because I knew it was the last arc, and they pulled me back in just because the action did go fucking hard and some massive things happened. But like at this point, I was kind of like just reading Bleach just to see the end of Bleach because I want to see the end of Bleach.
Yeah.
And to me, Bleach just went on for too long. To me, that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I read all the Bleach manga, but I kind of half did it just to like close the book on this chapter of my life, to be like, this has been with me a long time in my life and I'm glad it's over. Am I satisfied with it? Not necessarily, but at least I can say that I have finished it, and it's done.
I would have to like, I know Bleach fans are very, very passionate.
I can't wait for the comments.
I would have to reread Bleach just to give my proper opinion on it. Just because it's been such a long fucking time since I've read Bleach.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Mind you, our Gaunt and my memory of Bleach is very fragmented because it was kind of stretched out in a long period of time, obviously. So don't take anything we say seriously.
But 6? Nah.
Yeah, 6.
But 6, nah. Getting time of the final great movie.
Yes,
Let's move on. Hunter x Hunter, 2011.
Yes.
Okay, so I've only read the manga, so I can't comment on the anime.
Probably like my favorite anime I think I've ever watched overall. I think
I get the hype now that
Genuinely?
I've caught up. Now that I've caught up
I think
on
Hunter x Hunter anime was the most engaged and like most. Like I literally couldn't sleep because I had to watch the next episode. I just loved it. Everything about Hunter x Hunter I loved so much. I love the world so much.
Oh, the world building is incredible.
Yeah.
And this anime was amazing. I thought it did a really good job. And some of the pacing in the very, very start is a little slow, but it really picks up right away and then just never drops. It never lets you go. I know a lot of people say the end arc is too long, but I really like the end arc.
I like the Chimera Ant arc.
I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the difference between something like the Chimera Ant arc and some arcs, like when I think of arcs that dragged, I think of like Naruto arcs, which is like the 4th Ninja War arc, where I'm like, this was cool, and then it kind of like went on a bit too long. Arrancar arc as well in Bleach. The Chimera Ant arc, I feel like there were so many like it was very long, but there were so many insane developments and insane ideas presented in this one single arc that I feel it justifies just how fucking long it is.
Yeah. And I love Nen. Nen is a system I really fuck with. I think it's like my favorite battle system in any show.
Most definitely.
I feel like nothing feels. I like that it's not this guy's more powerful. This guy's Nen ability is just so good against all of these things, but he can get fucked up by this other guy if he's around.
Yeah, even the most like powerful characters have certain weaknesses, which the characters just need to figure out.
Yeah. I'll tell you one of my favorite guys in Hunter x Hunter and why like I feel like Nen, that was when Nen as a power system was like really fucking sold to me. And it was actually in the Chimera Ant arc, but it was like the smoke guy. Do you remember the smoke guy? The guy with the pipe?
Yeah.
He has like 3 or 4 fights, right? And he wins them all. And I was like, surely there's a fight that someone is like going to top him because he goes up against different abilities. And I've just found it so fucking cool that he was like, That's
His ability is that he could make like areas out of smoke, right? Am I crazy? Am I wrong?
Yeah, he can kind of create like arenas or like enclosed spaces in smoke or something.
One of them was like water, right? And
Yeah.
No. He went up against someone who could create a
that's
water
right,
arena.
right, yeah.
And his ability was so versatile that he could basically find a way to get around whatever other ability that the other guy
That's
had.
the problem with remembering Hunter x Hunter characters. There's fucking so many of them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I think I remember that guy.
But it showed that with experience,
Bring it up. Type in smoke guy, Hunter x Hunter.
Smoke guy, Hunter.
Smoke guy, Hunter x Hunter.
It showed that with experience, you could figure out how to beat another guy.
Yeah, I remember this guy.
Yeah.
He was sick.
Yeah,
I love this guy.
And I just love that it showed him in 3 or 4 completely different fights, and he was able to, with logic, deduce how to defeat the other person with the power system of Nen. And I thought that was like so fucking cool and so fucking insane.
It was also it was really refreshing to see a show that said, hey, my world is cool enough. I don't need to have you be attached to every single character and follow one point of view. I'm willing to show you a bunch of this world, get you hooked on the world instead of the characters.
Yeah.
But then you get hooked on the characters as well. And then suddenly you have like 50 characters that you really fucking enjoy watching. And whenever any of them are on screen, you're like, oh, fuck yeah.
I think that's the most brilliant thing about Hunter x Hunter's storytelling and how Togashi goes about the world building thing is that like it really does feel like even if there are certain arc or certain elements of the arc or like even entire arcs where like you never see the character, it feels like at the back of your mind, you still remember them and you're like, oh, I wonder how he's doing. Or I wonder how she's doing. And, you want to know. And I think that's what makes it so hype when that character finally appears and you're like, oh shit, he was here this whole time. That's sick,
And even its weakest arcs, I think, are better than most shonen arcs in general.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
I don't know. It was just such a good show, and I'm the only thing that holds it back is that it's never going to be finished.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's.
I mean, it's
a
making
big
progress.
portion of it is finished.
He's making progress.
We'll see Morel sometime in the Dark
But
Continent.
the problem is that the manga is introducing this thing that says, by the way, this show is like 50 times bigger than you think.
You've been on a tiny island this whole time.
I'm reading it now, and the boat to there is so long. There's a whole arc on the boat to the new place, and it's fucking long.
Yeah.
This is never getting finished.
Yeah.
Unless he has
damn
some
it.
kind of gigabrain turn backseas U-turn on the whole. I don't know.
I'm going to be completely honest. Remember what I talked about earlier? I think I've mentally checked out of Hunter x Hunter.
No. Well, okay.
This is why I'm scared. This is why I didn't want to start the manga for the longest time.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get to that point. I
Yeah.
don't want to get to the point where I'm waiting and look, I totally get it. Togashi needs to take care of himself, obviously.
Yeah.
He has his own issues.
And
It's fine.
I'll tell you these because I do like the idea of like the Dark Continent. That seems really cool, but the exact
It's too
moment,
ambitious.
it's too ambitious. Which is the thing. The exact moment was in the manga. There is a climactic fight between 2 characters that have been built up, and then I read that, and I was just like, I think that's it. I think I'm satisfied. I've seen enough now.
Yeah.
I've seen basically everything.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, this fight has happened. Everything with the Dark Continent sounds cool, but mentally, I don't even know where this is going to go or when it's going to get to a point that I'm going to get like pulled back in.
Like,
again.
is this a Togashiism? Because I felt the exact same way with Yu Yu Hakusho as well.
Which one was it with you?
After the
tournament.
Toguro brother fight.
No.
Yeah, because
No. What? No.
I don't know what he's saying, but no.
I obviously read it till the end, but like I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast episode, but like I just don't really I feel Yu Yu Hakusho kind of fizzled out, and that was just
Bro,
something
that's cap.
I
That's cap.
didn't like.
Yo, Chapter Black was like the best arc of Yu Yu Hakusho.
No.
Chapter Black is the best
No,
arc of
it
Yu Yu
was
Hakusho.
not.
It was.
What?
It was. It had so many insane ideas and one of the
it
best
had so
villains
many
in
insane
Shonen.
It had so many insane ideas, and then Togashi just got bored of Yu Yu Hakusho
Yeah,
and was like, I'm gonna write Hunter x Hunter instead.
Yeah, he does cook too hard sometimes.
Yeah,
You're like,
he had so many potentially cool ideas, and he delivered on some of them, and then it was just like, I'm done.
This current arc that Hunter x Hunter's in the manga actually kind of pissed me off because I was like, what the fuck? Why are we spending so much time on this?
Yeah.
On the boat over there. This feels ridiculous. It's so long.
I feel like I'm in Berserker again.
Yeah. I'm like,
literally.
Berserk fans are like, first time.
But like that's long because he just didn't release any. This one is long because it's fucking long.
Yeah.
It's so long.
And he's not releasing any. It's a double whammy.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. For all,
But what do you think? Hunter x Hunter deserve to be top 10?
Honestly,
Yes, yes.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
think we can all agree.
Hunter x Hunter, when it's at its peak, I think is unrivaled.
Yeah.
Shonen. I think
Yeah.
it's-
Sure.
it has absolute faith in its world and it knows it. And
I'm
it's
so glad I
fucking
can
good.
finally be involved in this Hunter x
Yeah.
Hunter conversation.
It's not a hot take to say Hunter x Hunter has the best power system in
Yeah.
Shonen, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I do feel that what sets it a league beyond was when Nen was introduced and when that concept was introduced, and it made it made every fight so compelling, and it made everything so much cooler as
And
well.
it made you care enough to know and want to go into the details,
Yeah,
which Togashi does a lot of.
It's a power system which I think was genius because no matter how powerful a character is, it always felt like there was a counter to it. And we have stands in JoJo, but stands in JoJo conceptually, it got to a point where you couldn't really fucking comprehend what the fuck was going on, you know?
Yeah, it was Araki just like pulling a band name out of a hat, and he was just like, "I'll give this guy shrinking abilities."
Yeah. To me, Hunter x Hunter, its power system still conceptually makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas with JoJo, there are some powers where I'm just
That's
like,
why I like JoJo.
It's just sick as fuck. That's
it's
all.
sick. It's sick. It's sick
Doesn't
in a
have to make
different
sense.
way.
It's just sick.
Sometimes you just need a fucking physics degree to get on to like understand what the fuck's
Yeah,
going on, but it's
it's
still
fine.
cool. Hunter x
Yeah.
Hunter still makes sense.
I think Hunter x Hunter easily is in my top
Yeah.
5 anime of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah.
I think it's just such a good shonen. If you like shonen and you haven't watched it, do yourself a favor and do it because it's the GOAT.